Good morning, Rabbi Sai. Leilui Imi Morasi Pesia Bracha. So today's theme of these emails is sukkah decorations. Here we go. This is from Hershey Tannenbaum, I think, in Muncie. I'll have his name in a second. Beautiful sukkah. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful. Wow, wow. Gorgeous. Oh. Hershey Tannenbaum, Muncie, New York. Dear Moiri V'Rabbi Reb Eli Shlita, thank you for changing my life and my entire family's life. I specially commissioned this huge artwork for my sukkah to express my gratitude, and I'm looking forward signing up lots of guests over Yontiv. Ari Davis, Golders Green, London, England, Yuma Daf Beis. Ari's another person that told me that he came to this shir even though he's a successful businessman, but that free Gemara, the lure of the free Gemara got him in there. Since then, he donated many zchusim to MDY worth of Gemaras, yes?
That gets it right. One picture of Moshe, one picture of Penasky.
I know. I got it, but if you look again, they're all larger than me. He put the small, but in order to make up for the size, he put the. You have to be medayik. There's this chachma. There's a lot of chachma there. There's a chachma. Chag Sameach from Indianapolis. Thought you'd like the history of MDY and your Indianapolis roots. Rick Bentley. So over here, there's a sign about Indianapolis, first property, Chicago, Ramat Bet Shemesh. There's a whole Torah over there. Above, I guess there's a picture of me and him in the Beis Medrash. Right over there. Givaldik.
Your first property was in Indianapolis?
Not really. My first larger one, maybe. But boys, I'm very excited about this. I was literally super excited. I love new ideas. This is a new idea. It's not going to cost anybody any money. It's Givaldik. I love this idea. I think we could really build on it. As soon as I say this, you're going to say, not bad. This is from Akiva Boaz. Brand new idea. I hope this email finds you well. I wanted to follow up and see if you received my previous email wishing you a happy anniversary. I have an idea that I believe could be beneficial for MDY and its members. I think creating an MDY daily planner would be extremely helpful and motivating. Recently, ArtSchool released the Heritage Desk Diary, which I was fortunate to receive. It features sections for Daf Yomi, Mishnayos Yomi, Kitzi Yomi, and more, along with spaces to write down thoughts. I've attached some photos for your reference. I'm confident that we can create something similar to personalized to MDY. Listen to this. A daily planner where you could have, and I'm thinking on top of what he said, you could have, let's say, Shamshi Shlafrak's picture on the day of his birthday, Ashi's picture, and the guys, the famous people with their pictures. You could have quotes from the shir, different musar, different ideas that happened through the year, and you mark off when you finish a daf, you mark off you did chazara, you mark off shnai mikra, different things, and we can incorporate, we can build on it. Every year it'll get better and better, and we'll give it out at the Shabbaton. Whoever comes to the Shabbaton will get one of these. Nice MDY daily planner, Gishmak, on your desk. Huh? It could be goyness. This thing could be, this is just one idea. You could do so many more things with this.
Who uses a daily planner?
We will start using daily planner. People will start using. You don't. I do. I want to. I don't. But I want to.
Would it come with an MDY pen?
Gary, you don't get one. I'm telling you, this thing is gonna fly. I'm telling you. It'll have, every page will have a picture, it'll have a thing. It'll be unbelievable. Oh, here, come here. Who uses a daily planner? Get over here. Get over here.
Exactly. Yeah, you have the great grandfather.
Time out. You sit over there with the great grandfathers. That's what I meant. Let me see your daily planner. Not this one. Not this one. I don't want to show. He owes you money? Listen, no, a nice one, a big one like this, on your desk, in your kitchen. What you did that day, what dapim you missed. It's Moirdik idea. I love it. They're making.
Eli, the idea is amazing. What if you had to add to it an MDY fax machine? Picture of you. While you're waiting for the fax, there you go.
MDY fax machine. He's saying with a picture of me. Every time I fax. Okay, you don't like it. You know what? Make me one. I want one. What? Well, who's that? Yeah, come here. Who had it? Another grandfather? You're not great-grandfather. Here, bring it. Somebody just pass it down. You don't have to come. Pass it down. Anyway, the Oilam's making fun, but it's going to be the hottest thing. We could personalize it with daily. There's another person that brought his big, giant daily planner. This is what, inside, this is what it looks like. But it's without pictures, without this. Trust, this is going to go. On Chalamayit, it's going to say, remember, do not work. It's not kedai. Different quotes. Hilchos Lashon Hara. Well, personalize with daily quotes and other features. This idea came to mind when you mentioned how you log your daf on graph paper. Additionally, I think this planner, Doilam is loving the idea. I think this planner could help raise funds and attract new members. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. I guess it's a big no from Doilam. I love the idea. I'm mechulek on everybody. Please also let me know if there's anything I can assist with. Listen, here he is again. I now remember. He helped a lot with the charity. I genuinely want to contribute more time to MDYs and feel it's a meaningful way for me to give back. Lastly, I would like to share a personal experience with you on Rosh Hashanah. During the first night and day, I read Tehillim twice, keeping you in mind, wishing you a good fittel. Sincerely, a Talmud. No need to mention my name. Akiva E. Boas. Thank you. This person is saying that it was Reb Akiva Eger's yard site yesterday, and this goes together with the daily planner. We're going to put it in the yard sites of Gdolei Olam, and Be'emes, it's going to be in the daily planner next to the fax machine. No, I remembered yesterday that it's Reb Akiva Eger's yard site. In fact, I even mentioned the Reb Akiva Eger yesterday during the shir, but the Olam didn't pay attention. My son, Akiva Simcha, is named after the Reb Akiva Eger. But I forgot to mention something special about him. Jokes, exactly, the jokes and the kids, it's going to be unbelievable. It's going to be, you guys are going to, the guys that made fun are the ones going to be first in line. Where did I buy one of these? I wasn't at the Shabbaton. I won it last year, but I gave it to my daughter. I didn't come. Whatever, different things. That's Jonathan. Yeah. Plus, educate the Olam Gishmak. And this is, he's from Costa Rica now. I knew Mike and Susie personally. My son Shimshon was friends with Benzi. You knew and I believed you were catering. You worked with my son Eli Moose. Famous zchariya Bracha. He's the father of Moose. Young guy who's never. You remember Moose? Not this. Here we got one. You have audio? This is for a follow-up of yesterday. Agut Moed Reboisai. It says in the bottom of the sign. Those are the two son-in-laws of Reb Heshi Leader and his grandchildren, right? Where were you? How come you weren't in it? You were in your building. You don't do these things with tefillin. Okay. Here's another one for the sukkah. My wife made a sukkah decoration. Are you checking now?
Wow. Now you should sell.
Sal Rosenfeld. Achdus, but there's a separation. Mike Chessel, along with the rest of the gang here, he put the entire MDY up there. If you look closely, they're shtickle small. Here. Okay, Givaldic, Michael Chessel. So I thought about a great idea. My wife is going to love this idea. I printed out all the people that have things in the sukkah. I'm going to put it in my sukkah. Whoever sent me a picture of them in the sukkah, so Michael Chessel is going to be in my sukkah. And then I could put him in the daily planner. On what? Yeah. Even this decoration is going to make it into my sukkah. Givaldic. Okay. To remember, I'll surprise my wife. I'm sure she'll love it. Okay. Rabbi said this is just to remind the Olam that we're starting Shnai Mikra Targum. Murad Nakash donated hundreds of these. It cost him tens of thousands of dollars. He gave to hundreds of people who started Shnai Mikra. If you look closely, look at this. This thing is well worn. It used to say over here, special Merkaz Daf Yomi edition. It's all worn out. This guy was Messiah in the Shnai Mikra. We actually have some in stock, so I don't know what we're going to do with it. Maybe we should just give it out for those who take upon themselves if they want something like this. There's Baruch Hashem just completed Shnai Mikra Targum. I wanted to wish you and the whole family Chag Sameach. Your Talmud Arnov Nedarim 57. Okay. Arnonov, what is his name? What?
Arnon Aronov.
Okay, something like that.
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 That's something like that.
Okay. Rabbi Isai, Binyomin Rosenfeld is the koil of the month for Atzlacha in business. The Mesechta for the safe and speedy return of all the hostages. Parnassa Chodesh, Gary, Shkoyach for this one. Lili Nishmas, Zechariah ben Moshe, Lili Nishmas, Chaya bas Yosef. Parnassa Chodesh, Binyomin Rosenfeld for the zchusim that come for supporting limud HaTorah. Parnassa Chodesh, health and strength for Reb Eli. Parnassa Chodesh, the Lack family, Lakewood New Jersey, because Torah is the best Segula. Parnassa Shavua, Yosef ben Chaya Sara for Parnassa berevach amen. Parnassa Yoim, Joel Ezoory, thanks to Hashem for my son Noam Shlomo's miraculous recovery, hit by a car on his scooter. Wow. You know him? You know the Maisa?
Well, with his wife in the skiing accident.
Mark Yosef.
That's true.
Really?
Yeah. Now his son was hit by a scooter.
Ooh, how do you know about that?
He called me.
He's the famous Joel Ezoory. My head is not working. He's the one that lost his wife in a car accident, a skiing accident, when he spoke Barabin when I was in Los Angeles. Crazy story. Now his son was hit by cars. Parnassa Yoim, Shmuel Idler, Leilui Nishmas, Imi Morasi Pesia Bracha, Reb Shmuel HaKohen on her 70-yard side. I'm making a Shiurim on Mishnayos Seder Zeraim that I learn for her each day in Rabeinu Tam Tefilin. Interesting. He wears Rabeinu Tam Tefilin and learns Seder Zeraim for his mother. Shlomo Ezagui, zchusim Menachem Mendel ben Leah, Esther Bracha bas Leah. Yitzchak Hershkovitz, and Mordechai Zapaznik, the 300 soldiers that were killed in Gaza last Thursday, Hashem Yikim Damam, Tzima the Seal ben Shlomo Yaakov Merens, something like that, Hashem Yikim Damam, Uri Moshe ben Avram Bernstein, Hashem Yikim Damam, and Salam ben Meir Hershkovitz, Hashem Yikim Damam. Netana was the nephew of Yitzchak Hershkovitz. Yitzchak Hershkovitz was our chef in Chaya, Berlin. He's a big part of the shir. He does those pancakes, the ready-made pancakes. He came up with this in Itzi's. Oh, wow. Yeah. Those pancakes, he made them in Chaya, Berlin for us, and then we said, why don't you just bottle it and sell it? And he made a business out of it. So Mordechai Zapaznik works for him. That's why Mordechai, and he's his word. So Netana was the nephew. I didn't know that. Now I'm chopping everything. May the Neshanos have an aliyah. May the families have a true nechama. Amen. The art of the month is chus for Reb Eli and the whole MDY staff to continue to make Torah so enjoyable for so many. The shir when? So the oilam is invited to the sukkah. It's a beautiful sukkah. We have 2 breakfasts planned. One on Sunday morning and one on Tuesday morning, Hoshana Rabbah, in the sukkah. I believe the rest of the Shiurim will be in the base Hoshana Rabbah. What? Oh, yeah, right. Wednesday. So it's Tuesday. Motzei Shabbos is going to be in the sukkah as well. Motzei Shabbos in the sukkah. Whenever there's food, matzah is in the sukkah. It's after davening over here, so it's about 10 o'clock, I think. The shir starts about 10 o'clock. Because davening here is 8:30. So 10 to 10, we start piling into the sukkah at 10 o'clock. When there's food, it's in the sukkah. Motzei Shabbos, Sunday and Tuesday. Here. First day. Now, don't forget, it's a 3-day yontif for Americans. So we plan on doing one extra share today, if possible. We're going to try to record an extra share for the Americans only. You're welcome to come, but it's going to be like an abbreviated share, no emails, just so whoever doesn't want to fall off during Yontiv could do extra daf, the shorter dafim. Rabbi said, holding daf Kuf Yud Gimel, we have 32 minutes to do this whole daf, but Amud Beis is kind of short. Huh? Okay, well, the walls are nice and clean. Shalom Aleichem, I missed you. Where were you? You weren't here yesterday. Yeah. Oh, not for Shachris. Okay, fine. As always. Who? No. Something like that, about 10. We're going to have music, we're going to have matzav. This is the matzav. We expect a lot of people coming in from Yerushalayim. Okay. Tanya Yidach, Kuf Yud Gimel Amud Aleph on the top. So Rabbi Isai, check this out. Easy sugya. Mamish easy.
Yeah.
Ashi, Ushi. No talking. Yeah. the Pasuk Zayin says, "V'lo sisoiv nachlav bnei Yisrael." That's Pasuk Zayin. Pasuk Tes, "V'lo sisoiv nachlav mimata lemata acher." Yesterday, we learned this. We have the two psukim. What do you learn from each pasuk? At the end of yesterday's sugya, we learned that pasuk Tes comes to tell us that a husband inherits from his wife. Husband inherits. If pasuk Tes tells us that a husband inherits his wife, so then what does pasuk Zayin teach us? They can't be saying the same thing. Once we know that the second pasuk is talking about the husband, and the Gemara is going to tell us why we know that. How do we know it? Where do we see it in this pasuk? Take a look at the pasuk now. Where does it say anything about a husband in this pasuk? Ish. It says in the other pasuk also ish. The Kitzer, take a look, and it's hard to see. So if we know that pasuk Tes, the second pasuk, not the first pasuk Tes, is talking about the husband, what's the first pasuk talking about? That the son. We don't want the same pasuk to repeat itself and tell us Isurim and mitzvahs. One pasuk is talking about the husband, the other pasuk is talking about the son. Now, the second brisa says the same exact thing, but the opposite. Here, take a look. Second brisa, we don't know what pasuk goes for what. It adds up to the same thing, but where do you start from? Pasuk Zayin is talking about a son, and therefore pasuk Tes is talking about a husband. Again, the first one is the husband, so therefore we know that the son is pasuk Zayin. They both end up saying that pasuk Tes is a husband. But where do you start from? We know that the pasuk Zayin is talking about a son, and Memela, pasuk Tes is talking about a husband. But how do you know that pasuk Tes is talking about a husband? So here's the Gemara. That's pasuk Tes. We're talking about a husband. Who told you? Maybe it's talking about a son. No, it can't be. So now we're in brisa number 2. So you see what it just happened? We just established that pasuk Zayin is talking about a son. That's pasuk Zayin. We're talking about a son. So what is pasuk Tes? If pasuk Zayin is talking about a son, that a son inherits his mother, so then pasuk Tes is talking about that a husband inherits that same woman, the wife. We're talking about the same woman. Pasuk Zayin says that a son inherits his mother, and pasuk Tes says that a husband inherits his wife. Who comes first? The husband inherits first, if there's both of them. Everybody agrees that pasuk Tes is talking about the husband. My mashma. Where do you see it in the pasuk? It says the Gemara siman. So on the side it says over here, there's no siman. Siman means there's something special, like there's a funny word that you can remember something. What are you trying to remember? There's nothing to remember. There's something to remember, but they don't give us a siman. Siman what? Usually it says achpashkad, and it means Aleph stands for Elazar, Shin stands for Shimon, whatever. There's no siman over here, so they say erase it. Some want to say, they say that Shiurim says that siman is actually the name of the Amoira talking. Siman Omer Shila Omer Kra. They say a story about Reb Kanievsky that it's known that every Masechta has its own one Amoira that was never mentioned anywhere in Shas. And that's how they discovered something that some Apikoris came with a fake Yerushalmi, whatever, and gave it. And the Rogachover looked it through. He says, "No, this is fake. How? Because there's no new name that was never in Shas." So somebody wrote him a letter, and on Motzei Shabbos, Reb Chaim Kanievsky went to the letter, erased something and added. So his Einuk asked him, "What are you doing?" So he said that somebody asked him, "What's a new name in Masechtas Chagiga?" I think it was like one of the. So he thought, and he said, "Oh, new name is this," and he wrote the guy a letter. And then on Motzei Shabbos, over Shabbos, he went through Shas, and he said, "No, that name does appear somewhere else." So he went through Chagiga again and came up with another name. So if Simon is in fact the name, that could be our name for Bava Basra, Simon. That's a Namari not brought anywhere else. The Namari named Simon. Omer, but it's a Shiloh if that's true or not. Omer Rav Shilom Akro.
That's the name of the person?
Yeah.
Who says it?
Different Achroin. No, Rishonim talking about it. Yeah. No, I didn't. It's supposed to be in the Mishnayos Shas, but I don't see it here. Yeah, but it's not in my Mishnayos Shas. It's not at this Mishnayos Shas. I don't know.
He said it's a safe and
Omar Kro, Ish. Check it out. Look at Pasuk Tes Rabbi side. Check it out. Ish. You see, Ish is blinking. Ish. It says Ish. Ish means a husband. Ask the Gemara about. Look at Pasuk Zayin. It also has Ish. Tarvayu Ish Ksibuhu. So let me ask you something. What? He didn't know. He's an Amor. He doesn't know that Pasuk Zayin also has the word Ish. What's going on here? It says Taisvis, the top line in Taisvis. Yeah, sometimes they didn't know psukim, which is hard to understand really. They didn't know psukim. Every kid would quote psukim. Like today you have thousands of Israeli kids that know the entire Tanakh Baal Peh. All the Zilbermans, all the Zichru kids, and there's 80 Zichru schools. So the Rashbam has a whole pshat that he knew that there's another Ish, but his idea was, it says Ish, and it says Ish twice. So if it says it twice, it's extra. And because it's extra, it must mean the husband. So he asked him, but they both say Ish. In other words, yeah, it's extra. But who told you that the extra one is on Pasuk Tes? Maybe the extra one is on Pasuk Zayin. Maybe Pasuk Zayin is talking about the husband. It has a little bit of a Torah. It was more than Stam. Oh, I didn't know. Oh, you're right. Here, it says Yidbuku. Oh, Yidbuku. So ask the Gemara, but the other one also says Yidbuku. The Gemara says, yeah, but the other one here, the Pasuk Tes, let's see inside. Yidbuku Matis, look, it has balloons now. Oh, that's the winner. It says Yidbuku Matos. The other one doesn't say Yidbuku Matos. So that's the whole sugya, but we just did a half almond and that's the whole sugya. Or Marav Amakro Yidbuku Matos. Yidbuku is a lotion of devek. In Hebrew, devek is glue. You have to cleave to your wife. The pasuk says, "Ve'alkein yaziv ish esav ve'asima v'dovak v'ishtoi." You're like glue. You glue to your wife. You're supposed to be like one with your wife. So that's a lotion they use for a husband, not for a son. So Mela, since it says the word devek, yidbak matois, so it's referring to the yidbaku matois is referring to the husband. So I just want to pause it for a second because we always talk about dveikus. So I asked my chavrusa, what's dveikus? I called up different people. I asked the chassid, I asked the litvak. The bottom line is, this is what I came up with, that dveikus, to cling to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, how do you cleave to HaKadosh Baruch Hu? Dveikus, you should be dovek in Hashem. So the Gemara inside this says the way to be dovek in Hashem is v'alachta b'drachav. You do what he does. Mahu rachum, afatar rachum, mahu chanon. Yes. Baruch has compassion on people, so you should have compassion. When you have rachmanas and you do chesed and you do, then you're dovak in HaKadosh Baruch Hu. The Pnei Yeshua brings the Gemara in Ksubas. He says that over there the Gemara says, how is it possible to be dovak in Hashem? How? Hashem is fire, Kaviyachal. Hashem is a human being. How is a human being going to be dovak in Hashem? So he says, by the way, you were here already, right? I'm not. Cleveland?
Originally, I live in the 5 towns.
So where did I saw you? Just
Chicago, you saw me at the Shiurim.
So this is your first time at the Smedrish?
Second or third time I'm here.
Okay, I'm saying you're regular. You're regular. To me, it's all a big blur. So I thought I saw you here 2 days ago. I'm saying, but you see, I used to come to I used to give the shir over there in not Eichenstein, No, Rabbi Newman Shul, where Rani Shabbat used to come with Dessler.
Yes, I still work with them every day.
You still work with them. So this is 15. You used to show up. You had the dollar stores or something.
We have the show.
You used to pile into Shul, and I used to give a shir afterwards. I remember you from then. That's how I know. Okay, fine. Givaldik. Woman, tell the Olam your name?
Harry Mayer.
Harry Mayer, and you live today where?
The 5 towns.
In the 5 towns. You made Aliyah from Cleveland to the 5 towns.
No,
From Kew Gardens. They were from Cleveland. And you just meant, I got it. Okay. Givaldik. So, Zogtip Pnei Yeshua, the Gemara in Ksubas says that, how did this come into Dveikus? I have no idea. Middle of Dveikus. The Bnei Yeshua says, he brings the Gemara. He says, the Gemara asks, how can you be Dovek in HaKadosh Baruch Hu? So the Gemara says that you should marry a Bas Talmud Chacham or support Talmid Chachamim. So says the Bnei Yeshua, if marrying the daughter of a Talmud Chacham is Dveikos and supporting Talmud Chacham is Dveikos, so what is the Talmud Chacham himself? So if you learn Torah, he says there's no greater Dveikos than learning Torah. So you come to the shir in the morning, you're Dovek in HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We're performing Dveikos right now. This is Dveikos. Okay? What's Pshat? What's Pshat in Dveikos, how through Torah? Because the Nefesh Chaim says when you learn Torah, you're learning HaKadosh Baruch Hu's Chachma, and you're internalizing his Chachma. You bring the Chachma into you. It becomes in your brain, in yourself, something like that, to that point. All right, talk to Gemara. Omar Kro Yidbeku Matos. Ravashi Omar Kro Mimata Lamata Acher. It's interesting. I'm just saying, like, when I went to Eliyakim Aronov, who's a Litvak, he started telling me about Chesed and this and that. When I called up Menachem Mendel Fence, he said, Torah. It's a Olam Hafach Reisi. The Litvak is a Chassid, the Chassid is a Litvak. It's all Gevaldik. It's all one. What? Yeah, the old part of it. Ravashi Omar Kro Mimata Lamata Acher. Oh, this is Gevaldik. Just don't tell this to your wife. It says over here, it says in the pasuk, Mimata Acher. You're a stranger. The Olam knows, remembers. You get married, and you're having a great time. Shana Rishona, your wife thinks you're it. And all of a sudden, it's like a short stop. You have a baby. And all of a sudden, bye-bye. You go from number 1 to like minus 500. Like you don't even exist. You're garnished. You're garnished. Who are you? You're like a stranger because you are a stranger. You're not really blood relatives. The blood relative comes in, that son comes in, the daughter, and that's it. You're all smiling because you know I'm right. You just don't say barabim. Not in your case, Avi. What? As I state, acher. Who's a acher? The husband is a acher. The husband is a stranger, not a son. When the Torah says mimata acher, it shouldn't go to a stranger's shevet. It's talking about the husband. The husband is just an acher. Right, Hill? That's not a machloikis, he says. Gewaldig. That's likuli alma. Good gesagt. Very good, very good. No, it's not laughing because it's sad. Remember the other day we had Rabbi Yanai with Rabbi Simloi. Rabbi Yochanan was a Talmud, the Gadol Adar was a Talmud of Rabbi Yanai, who's a Talmud of Rebbe. Some say in the name of Yeshua Karcha. Oh, not complicated at all. We know the famous halach of roike b'muchzuk. Like when a bechar inherits his father and he gets 2 portions, he only gets 2 portions of what exists at the time of the death. Debt and things that people owe the father. Some guy owes the father $10 million and he pays up a day after the funeral. Nebachan the bechar, he doesn't get the 2 portions. He shares it equally with his brothers. Why? It's roi. It's a possibility, but it's not really, especially, today where paying back loans is just a minhag, it's not a real chiyuv. So it's only potential. It's a far potential. Huh? Mefala Pai? Yeah, it is. It's like a lottery. Sometimes you win, sometimes you don't. Most of the time you don't. So by a husband and a wife, it's the same thing. There's a guy who's married to a woman. Maybe he married her for the money, who knows. He's waiting for the shver to die. He's waiting. The shver has a lot of money, and he's mamish, he can't wait. Otot, he's going to be a millionaire finally. And unfortunately for him, the wife dies. His wife dies. And 3 days during the Shiva, out of all the tsar that his wife died, his shver died. What a rachmanis. Because now he doesn't get any of that money. 0. Over there he doesn't say Atayva Meitiv. No, I'm saying the guy. No, on the wife maybe. What are you saying on the wife? Chas v'shalom. It reminded me of a Mori Dika. Everybody knows this joke, but we got to say it once in a while. This guy was at his wife dies, and they have a levaya, and they're going through the streets over there with the aron, and by mistake, the aron hit the corner of the street, and from the zetz, she wakes up. She wakes up. They make a whole su'uda. It's unbelievable. Simcha. Unbelievable. 2 months later, she dies. Nachamal, funeral. And when they go through that place, the husband starts screaming, "Watch the corner! Watch the corner!" Hopefully all the women are busy making yontif today. All right, Zok the Gemara. I'm not joking. Yesterday, the first time ever in history, I'm learning here with Mechavrusa after Mincha. All of a sudden, a woman walks in. She goes, "I heard they sell this picture for the sukkah from this famous artist. Where is it? How do I?" And she's going through the pictures over there. I don't know, like somebody put pictures. We don't know who it is. Who put the pictures over there? Huh? Who's the artist? She said the name. The famous Shalav. I don't know what. Shalav. I don't know what. She started asking Rabbi Didi stuff, and he wanted excuse me, this is a men's only club. Whatever. She needed to buy the pictures. Okay? Had to hold him down. Zok the Gemara. Oh, how do you know that the husband doesn't get the Shver's Yerusha when, let's see, where is this? Oh, here, something like this. Okay, the Shver has 23 cities, let's say. The Shver. And Sogov is married to his wife, and the wife dies. So, and then the Shver dies. So where does all the real estate go? It goes down to the grandson. But Sogov's son Yair. But if the Shver dies first, so then the Sogov gets everything. So you just have to make sure that the wife doesn't die. All right? Minayin lebal sheinu not the broken moves shenemar uzgov hoylid es yair vahi lo yesrim v'shol yisharim beretz hagilad. As the Gemara where we had this the other day, minayin yair shlo hoylid lo uzgov. How is it possible that the son has 23 cities that his father never owned? Elamelamed shenasa sogov isha. What happened was, like in the first case, Sogov married a woman, and the woman had a father that had all this real estate, and she, the wife, died when her Moirish, her father, was still alive. And then the Shver died, called Moirish. So then the real estate went down to Yar. That's the only way we can understand it. Yar had property that his father never had. What's the other way it could happen? What if Yar's wife had property and he inherited from it? Yeah, same story happened to Pinchas. That Pinchas buried his father in Pinchas's lot. How did Pinchas have a lot in Givat Pinchas without his father owning it? He should have been buried in his own backyard, in Loz's backyard. Same story. Why do I need two psukim? Maybe Yair received it from his own wife. Maybe he was married to a woman. Chaval, we should have shown that, no? Okay, next time. But, no, I don't think so. Maybe Yair received it not from his grandfather, but from his shver. He got it from his wife. Why would you have two stories in the Torah telling you the same story? Maybe Pinchas' story was because Pinchas is a Kohen, and he received it from the Zecharamim. Some Yisrael donated it to the Kohanim. He said, Sada Zu should be Cherim to the Kohanim, so he donated a field to the Kohanim, and Pinchas is a Kohen, so he took it from there. Omakra, Benoi. Benoi, let's see if we have the pasuk. No. Benoi. But we do have the pasuk somewhere. Okay, not here. So it says Pinchas Benoi. So Nachla Haruuya Loi, it's a Yerusha that's Roi for Elazar the father, V'Yarsha Benoi, and Pinchas, the son of Elazar, inherited it. Ubnei Achos. It says in the Mishnah that a nephew inherits his uncle, and an uncle does not inherit a nephew. What's the case? Here. So we have, sorry, let's go back over here. Somehow they're dead already. Okay, they're supposed to be alive, but they're not. I don't know what happened. Okay, the parents had a son and a daughter, and the daughter had a son, and she died. So her son, the nephew, inherits his uncle. After he dies, it goes down to him. What happens if he's not a son? The same thing, but it's a daughter. In other words, she's a niece. That's typical in the time of the Gemara. An uncle would marry the niece, but in this case they weren't married. Her mother dies, then her uncle dies, so she definitely inherits. Why? Because we know that a daughter inherits her mother. We knew this before we knew that a son inherits his mother. The only way we know a son inherits his mother because the daughter inherits her mother, right? That was the other sugi we had. It happens to be that the son is first. What if, same story, but there's a niece and a nephew. Who inherits now? Huh? The nephew, the son. Oh, the son. That's what it says over here. Now, before we get there, it says Ubnei Achos, Tana, what? They would not inherit. The kids on the bottom would inherit the grandparents. The father would inherit. Right. Goes to a son and his Yarshim. I don't know. Because it goes to the son first. It goes to the no, it goes to Yeah. It goes to the father before the brother. Yeah, it goes to the father before brother. He's in the third position. Correct. That's why the grandparents are dead. Ubnei Achos. Tana, Bnei Achos v'loi Benos Achos. Benois Achos. Now, this is not true. It's one of these riddles. Yeah, it says a line, and we have to understand what it means. It says only a nephew, but not a niece. But that's not true, right? A niece obviously does inherit her mother before even. It makes more sense that she should inherit her mother more than even her brother should inherit the mother. I didn't even turn the page, and you're jumping. That's it. I'm not going to say it today. Oh, okay, fine. I'll say it. So what does it mean? It makes no sense what you just said. That if you have this case where there's a son and a daughter, a nephew and a niece, then the nephew comes before the niece. Not that she doesn't inherit at all. If she's by herself, of course the niece inherits. But if there's a nephew and a niece, then the nephew comes first. Turning to the Daf, the Belsky family in memory of Simcha Beryl, David Olav Shalom ben Avram Moshe, and innovations in honor of my uncle Reb Elchanan Pressman and Fischel. It should be zchusim v'akiv Simcha Fischel. Nachamol, just to say what just happened, it's a little bit of a shock to the Olam. He's offering $1,000 for anybody who joins, I think now, somewhere around now, soon, I guess he's going to say exactly when, somewhere in Bava Basra, finishes Sanhedrin. It's an unbelievable thing because then it'll become part of the person who joins. It has to be people who speak English. I think they're Americans for the most part. I think there might be small print Americans. But if you haven't done Daf Yomi, it doesn't apply to anybody here in the room. If you haven't done Daf Yomi in 3.5 years, you're eligible for $1,000 if you do the Daf every single day. Unbelievable. If 1,000 people join, which I think they would, that's $1 million.
Eli, click the link. Go like this.
I should go like this? Okay, this is the link. Click over here for more details. Official, it's unbelievable. I'm saying people go out and do things for the tzibur. That's chesed, chesed, chesed. Torah and chesed. And thank you, Rebbe Stefansky, for giving up her husband for the clout. It should be zchus for a year filled with mazel, bracha, tzlacha, Parnassa, revach, and refuah, yishkoyach, Reb Fischel. Should go well. He said, Alavai. He's davening that 3,000 people should sign up. Davening. Zok the Gemara. Tani. Yeah, Vada. Tani Rav, that's the point. Halavai should give out $1,000 to a person. That means he completed Sanhedrin and a little bit of Bava Basra. Tani Rav Shmuel bar Rav Yitzchak Hamid Rav Huna. V'yarash. Makish Yerusha Shniya li Yerusha Rishayna. Yerusha Rishayna is very simple, just means a typical Yerusha. What's a typical Yerusha, Rabbi Isai? When a son inherits his father. Yerusha Shniya means anything else. Inheriting an uncle, whatever it is. Anything else besides the main type of Yerusha, which is a son inheriting his father. Makish Yerusha Shniya li Yerusha Rishayna. Ma Yerusha Rishayna ben Kadam Lebas. We know that a son comes before a daughter. Af Yerusha Shniya ben Kadam Lebas. I forgot to tell you my mashal. I'm proud of it, but my chavrusa knocked it down, and I'll tell you why. He said, "Oh, it's a famous mashal. Somebody wrote a book about it." But maybe I read the book and I just forgot. It's also possible. I was just thinking when we're talking about Veikos, everybody should imagine their first date with their wife. First date, come on a date. You're there. Well, it didn't happen back in those days, but imagine you're on the first date. You sit down, Shalom Aleichem, and then you pull out your cell phone and you start texting your friends. It's a busha v'charpa. She's sitting across from you, and you're like, eh. Sometimes you go to restaurants, you see it all the time. Couples are sitting there, they go on a romantic date, and each one is texting somebody else. They're not even. But imagine you do that on your first date. Okay, you're married with 20 kids and whatever. That's a different story. So that's I was thinking when you come to shul, you're actually on a date with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. It's a date. It's your private time with Hashem, and you pull out your phone and you start texting somebody else. It's like it's a little bit of a bizarre to Hashem. But anyways, I was just thinking about it because I saw Avi texting now. Zok Gemara. I have no idea what sefer he's talking about. He said, "Oh yeah, somebody wrote a book about you're on a date with Hashem, something like that." Okay. Says the Gemara. It is Hashem's story. What?
It's from Reb Kiva.
And just
Reb Kiva also, not yours. You should have said that.
It is.
It would be like Reb Kiva. They'd be like, "No, it's mine."
No. I tried it with him. I tried it. It works sometimes. He doesn't throw yarmulkes though. He's a different type. All right. Zok the Gemara. Yeah. Tani Rabbi Chanin Kamid Reb Nachman. V'hoya biyoim hanchilos banav. You see the whole pasuk over here. Why does the Torah say the word biyoim? V'hoya banchilos banav. Biyoim in a day. It's an extra word. Biyoim atamapel necholis v'atamapel necholis b'layla. The Gemara says a drasha, a halacha. You're not supposed to do Yerushas at night. Why? As we're going to see, because it's like a judgment. Judgments are done during the day, not at night. Oh, so it comes out, according to you, that if somebody dies during the day, there's Yerusha. If you die during the night, there's an interesting zayah that says that people don't die during the night. They wake up for a moment and then they die. Because since you're being mafkid your neshama by HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Hashem has to pay you back. If you gave him something, he has to give it back. So he gives it back to you for a moment, for a fleeting moment. It could be a millisecond. You wake up, you open your eyes, and dead. But you don't die in your sleep, kind of thing. That's what he's saying. What?
At the corner.
At the corner. Dilma din chalas kamer. So the Gemara says, no. What you probably mean to say is you shouldn't do the actual division during the night. Of course, if a person dies at night, there's a Yerusha. You shouldn't come and make a whole mishpah and say you get the house and you get the car, etc. This anya. It says in the parsha of Yerusha, v'hoisel v'nei Yisrael l'chukas mishpat. Here's the pasuk. We're familiar with this pasuk. Everything about Yerusha, and then it says l'chukas mishpat. It's a mishpat. Yerusha is a mishpat. So just like Ura kol parsha kula is din, it's a din. You have three people that come to visit the sick. A sick man. Now this guy is mamish dying. He's on his deathbed. He's writing a tzava. He's telling a tzava to somebody. He's too sick. He says, I want all my belongings to so and so. So here you have three rabbis. They came. These are the three rabbis from the karka. The mamish, the checking him out of shtickle. And he tells them, oh, I want to give all my nechasim to Reuven. So on the one hand, they could be testifying that's what he said. On the other hand, they could be the judges pasking where it goes to. So there's a little bit of a sugya, it's only 3 lines, but Eid Nasadayan, if you become a witness, you have the ability to become a judge. There's a Rav that came to visit a famous miser, and the guy says, "What are you doing here? You're not, why'd you come visit me? You know, I don't give to the yeshivas, I don't give tzedakah." He said, "No, I heard that you're sick. Came to me back a Chaya." So he says, "Okay, so you're yaitza, go." He says, "No, but it says that when a person comes to me back a Chaya, he takes 1/60th of the disease. Your disease that you don't want to give. I'm trying to take 1/60th of what you have." But there's a Meiser Shahaya. My father, Stark, he used to be Rav Shach's Chavrusa. Every month of Shabbos, he would take me, because I was Luchar, you have to come see Rav Shach. Every single month of Shabbos, we'd go to Rav Shach for a couple of years. And he'd learn with him Chavrusa for like an hour. One month of Shabbos, my father couldn't come because my mother had pneumonia. So he was home. So Rav Shach called him up and says, "Was ist das? You know, why didn't you come?" So he said, "Pneumonia." It's okay. All of a sudden we hear like noise, a lot of noise in the stairwell. And I said this a few times. We lived in Rehov Zonenfeld 14. We were apartment 10. Apartment 9, which is door facing door, was the famous Lev Levayov, like the billionaire Levayov. It was a funny building, and 2 floors below is Rabbi Ehrenberg from Chadera, the Rosh Yeshiva. It was a chashuv building. Kitzur, we hear noise. Open up the door. There's hundreds of kids in the stairwell. There's a whole commotion. What? Rav Shach showed up to our house when he was in his prime. Comes, my father says, "Shiva, I don't want to be matriach." He says, "I didn't come for you. I came to be vakachayla. You said your wife is sick. Whatever. You want to give my father a little covet." So he came. The whole Bnei Brak was tummeling. Rav Shach, you heard? Rav Shach came to this young guy's house. Whatever. Okay. Anyway, Zog the Gemara. This is a Meiser Shai. We have pictures actually. If these 3 want, they could be Bezdin. And if they want, they could act as Eidim. Shnayim, but if there's only 2 out of the 3, like so, then obviously, they can't, they don't have the power to make a din and passing this is what should happen. They could have testified that this is what the guy said. This only applies if they came to visit him during the day. Since they cannot be dayanim, these 3 cannot be dayanim. Why can't they be dayanim? Because it's nighttime, so they only have the ability to act as eidim. My timer, this is what you wanted to say? That 3 visiting a night have to be Eidim? This is what I meant. Rabbi Sai, have a wonderful yontif, a wonderful day.